Who else is sitting? We have a stand-up microphone if you want.
We're just going to get going.
Okay, let's start.
Falah,
I have two things to say that. The first thing is a month ago they wouldn't have been able to demonstrate, and demonstrations are one of the properties of freedom. So they're free to demonstrate, and we don't discourage that. The second thing I have to tell you is I've had many Iraqis in Baghdad and in the South tell us they're glad we're here. So I think what you see right now is some staged demonstrations, but I think below that, the majority of the people are glad we're here, and the majority of people realize that we're only going to stay here long enough to start a democratic government for them, and we're only going to stay here long enough to begin their economy going, and we're only going to stay here long enough that we can get their oil running and the oil flowing back to the people and the revenues to the people. So I think what you'll see here in the future is a reversal of that.
I'd like to ask two questions. One is what position...
The role that we have, that General Cross and I have, is a role to do two things, and both of them are types of reconstruction. The first is a physical reconstruction, is turn on the lights, turn on the water, turn on the electricity, get the bridges repaired, get the roads repaired, put the children back in school, make sure the health system is good. The second one type of reconstruction is a political reconstruction, and in that framework, our goal and our purpose here is to create an environment in Iraq where we can have a democratic process where Iraqis can choose their own leaders and Iraqis can choose their own type of government, and we put together a democratic process so at the end of that, Iraq has a government that represents the freely elected will of the Iraqi people.
I'd like to ask two questions. One is what position, I mean, a lot of Iraqis...
There is a plan to reconstruct the Iraqi armed forces, and that process will include bringing together many of the people who have been involved in this conflict. I think, for all of us, we must remember the timelines associated with what's been going on here. It's very pleasant sitting here in this rose garden in a secure environment under a system that is democratic and as these people have been able to build so much in the last 12 years, but that does not apply right across Iraq yet, and there's no point in pretending otherwise.
I spent the day with Mr. Talabani today, and we talked about a democratic government for Iraq that represented all the people. It was a mosaic of Iraq, of the cultures, the ethnicity, the religions, and he was in full agreement the future of Iraq would be a democratic Iraq representing all people.